It's a podcast from Alexandria, Egypt. We've got three members of the New Zealand Surf Ice Saving team here: Steve Kent, Mickey Cox, Andy McMillan. Welcome along. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Excellent. How are you enjoying Egypt,
Steve?
Well, I think we were expecting worse conditions, but I'm really enjoying culture, and the food's not too bad, and the hotel we're staying in now is pretty sweet, so it's pretty good so far.
Excellent. Nikki?
Yeah, definitely a different challenge from last time we did it, so an experience, definitely.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely a bit of an eye-opener, but I think we were coping pretty well. And it could have been a bit more interesting if we stayed at the beach in our place there, but I think we're counting our lucky stars. We've been put in this pretty porno-type place.
I think Mac is referring to some of the apartments at the beach where the team were initially going to stay, and we actually moved them from that environment. It was there's probably a few little issues there that weren't ideal really for high performance racing, I guess. But we've worked through that little speed up.
Glitch.
Now, I need to ask a question of Steve and Mac. You guys are dressed in some very tight lycra. You want to tell the folks at home what that's all about, or is that just? Are you guys rooming together?
Me and Mac are rooming together.
Are you guys going out? Are you guys going out after this? Or?
Yeah.
We're going for a bike ride.
We're doing a lot of stuff together lately.
These guys are pretty close. They oil up each other, they scooch each other.
Curial, just all those boating swimmers out there. Best stuff.
Straight after sessions, get the Alpha Curie out, lube each other up, and do some partner stretching, and just really go, what the hell's going on? Put a few question marks over a few heads probably. But
Absolutely. So I guess the team's been in town now, sort of about 4 days, something like that, and we're starting to wind into the competition. But when you sort of first landed in Cairo and you sort of came through the airport and you got on that bus and you started sort of heading up that desert road, what was going through your mind? Were you just going, where the hell are we? What's going on here? Is this a joke? Or
to be honest, I was busting from the toilet. We had the first toilet stop that Sam was busting to go, and I was just like, giving a shit, but I was full to the brim, and then I needed to go straight after we went the first time, but it was quite crazy having me and a few of the boys didn't use the bathrooms. We just went out in the lots in the desert to start, so yeah, couldn't say that I've been in the toilet in the desert in Egypt.
How would you when we talk about the desert, I mean, people in New Zealand who hadn't travelled just wouldn't have any idea what it's really like. Steve, do you want to just describe what it's like?
A bit different to the desert road in the middle of the country, but it's just bare, it's dry.
It's a pretty straight line,
but dirty, I suppose is the word you call it. But
it's about a 200k trip by road along the desert road, and I counted maybe 3, maybe 4 turns in the road, 4 corners.
Yeah.
There was one good thing about travelling though, because when you're trying to sleep in a car and you're going around corners, it's like around Hilltop, you just stand in the same place the whole time.
Absolutely. Lots of sand. You built a pretty good sand pit out there.
Yeah. No, I think the first thing we probably all noticed was just the lane changing rules over here. So driving on the motorway and you're driving down the middle and swerving. No, the lines don't mean anything. We're on the 4-lane motorway.
But you don't really get road rage here.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. They just seem to just get they just merge.
Just get on with it.
There's no zips. It's just
it's a pretty topsy-turvy.
Drive like an Egyptian.
I'm going to try and pull it when I get back home, mate.
Drive it like a stole.
It's like an Egyptian. None of
the Egyptian zip.
Yeah, the Egyptian zip. You wouldn't want to see that on a suit.
What about so you came into Alexandria, obviously a very built up city here. There's 5 million people in the city. It's bigger than the population in New Zealand. What was sort of going through your heads? I mean, there's a lot of rubbish on the sides of the road, very dusty and fairly dirty.
There's some buildings that look like they're just about to fall down.
Yeah, it looks like
pretty
an
run down.
abandoned city almost, but then you see the roads and it's just consistent.
We expected a seaside town. Not saying it'd be like the Gold Coast, but at least nice buildings all the way along. But they're not. They're worse than bloody.
But I think they've cleaned it up a lot. Like since we first arrived, And then like driving down to the beach today, it looks a lot nicer and cleaner than like the first day we arrived. Like this morning when we were down at the beach training, they had like guys walking along picking up all the cigarette butts and stuff on the beach, and the beach looks a lot cleaner this afternoon than it did this morning.
The way I sort of look at it is if you imagine sort of surface paradise maybe 50, 60 years ago and just left.
Yeah.
With a few more buildings almost.
Yeah, it's that kind of look, you know. It's a very high sort of. There's a promenade that runs right along the city here.
Yeah.
Then you got the buildings that stand up over it.
We were driving back from the pool the other day and we were looking at how straight the buildings were, and there was one building leaning on another building, and that building was leaning on another building, and then there was the dirt pile, so obviously all the buildings from there on had fallen down, so we're like, oh, that one's next. So it's structural integrity up here is a bit different from New
Difference in
Zealand.
classes is quite extreme.
Doesn't seem to be too much like reinforcing steel in many of the buildings, is there?
So,
I mean, you want
the way the land's falling over, that's the way the buildings are. So.
I don't think you'd want to be hanging around here if you had an earthquake like a Christchurch experience a couple of weeks ago, would you?
They'd be doomed.
Be a bit of concern. So, what about the culture, Nikki? Obviously, from a female perspective, it's very, very different for the woman over here in Egypt. Obviously, with the traditional headwear and that kind of stuff. What's from your perspective? How have you found that? What are the observations you've made?
I definitely feel a lot more comfortable now that a whole lot of the other teams have arrived. But on the first day when we were one of the only teams there, I felt very self-conscious in my tops going down to the beach because females just don't show much skin at all over here. Yet it's so incredibly hot, and so you do get some really strange looks. But, I don't know how the women
are sexy though.
can wear.
Steve Kent's a fan of burkini.
Yeah, but some of the women that we've seen, have a full burqa, full gloves and socks and everything. And it was so hot, and it's in black as well.
I saw one with glasses on the other day, full burqa and had glasses, like prescription glasses. So I wonder if they get hassled at school as well.
They said you guys got sort of flicked off today on your walk down to the supermarket as well, maybe.
Yeah.
Sort of like not a finger, but some sort of weird sign.
Loogie.
Whether it was
Did you get the flip?
And you get the they'll just say something to you and you have no idea what they're saying, but you can pretty much guess what they're saying. Especially with our team uniform that's, a white, lacy, strappy top.
chosen by Paul Ryan.
I've spent good 4 weeks trying to blend in with the facial growth at the moment, and I still get looked at and stick out like a sore thumb. Steve's been trying for 4 months, but
just quietly, I think if you're walking around in tight lycra, you're probably going to stand out a bit, Macca.
yeah, that's right.
Have you guys picked up any of the local lingo?
Really?
Shukran means thank you.
Shukran.
And Malhaba means hello. But
That's the repertoire.
There's a lot of people that can actually speak a bit of English.
Yeah.
Like we went down and got a couple of drinks the other day, and 2 little kids come up and told us their names, and spoke a little bit of English.
Yeah.
And they were little kids, only probably 7 or 8.
And how have you found the locals? They're pretty happy to see you guys in town.
Yeah,
There's a young kids,
different
I
for them.
suppose.
They see people that they haven't seen before, and they'll smile, and they're quite friendly. But the taxi drivers have all enjoyed us. We've all been enjoying the taxi rides to the pool, and weaving in and out of traffic. And when there's been close calls, we'd all be shouting and whoa, and have a bit of a laugh, and the taxi drivers just smiling away
not like it's
this is just normal. Get real amusement out of someone that's seeing it for the first time.
And this is, in a seasonal sense, this is the quiet time of year for Alexandria.
Yeah, I'd hate to see it on a busy time.